There is one move most poker players know, but they do not use it the right way. I have been a winning poker pro for 7 straight years, and it is something that has made a huge difference in my results. In this video, I am going to break down exactly what it is and how you can use it to start winning more money today. The move will be seen post flop when I am dealt ace 10 offsuit in under the gun position. Blinds are 1-3 with a $6 straddle on, and the max buy-in for the table is only $300. I will open 2.5x to $15. It folds all the way around to the straddle, and they will put in the call. We go heads up to a flop of Queen 9-3, 2 hearts. My opponent is going to check, and this board is very good for my range and my exact hand. I will have a lot of strong Queen X hands, and having the 10 of hearts is given backdoor equity to straights and flushes. I will continuation bet, aka C bet, for $20. After a couple of seconds, my opponent puts in the call. We go to the turn and it comes the Jack of Diamonds. My opponent checks, and this is a very good turn as now I am open-ended to the nuts, aka the best 5-card hand possible with the board. With villain being so short here, I would not want to double barrel and then they go all in. Checking back is the preferred option as I get to realize my equity without this additional risk. We go to the river and it comes the King of Hearts. My opponent will check again, and now it is finally time to implement the move most poker players know. This is a beautiful river as I have the nuts straight, but not necessarily the nuts due to the flush draw completing. Where does your thought process go in this spot? Should we bet even though the flush came in? Or should we check back? If we do bet, what size is going to generate the most winnings long term? We can bet small, medium, or large, but which one would you use? To break this down further, I have a very important card in my hand, and it is the 10 of hearts. By having this card, it would be impossible for my opponent to have flushes containing the 10 of hearts. Because of this, I can for sure go for a bet because there are many worse hands I can get called by. People at low stakes poker just do not like to fold and will find a call with top pair, 2 pair, and a 10 for a straight. There is $74 in the middle and my opponent has $110 behind. It's time for the move that makes me win at poker, and it's maximizing your winnings by going all in. I announce to the dealer I am all in, and my opponent will think about it for a couple of seconds. Fear needs to go out of the window when performing this move, and you need to understand what it is appropriate to use based on ranges, your current made hand, and many other factors. My opponent calls the 1.5x pot over bet all in. I showed the nuts straight and they would be folding their hand. We made the most money possible by going for it all on the river. Winning at poker can be hard, but something that is easy is scanning this QR code to receive my free guide, the Low Stakes Poker Blueprint. It gives you the 100 rules I used to win for 7 straight years. You can also receive it by clicking the pinned comment in this video. This next hand, we will see the move again, but this time in a different situation in a 2-5 game where I am dealt ace-king offsuit in under the gun position. I will open 3x, making it $15 to go. It folds to my opponent in hijack and a 3-bet to $50. It folds all the way back around to me, and this is the time once again poker players have a bit of fear, especially with this holding. Ace-king is a very strong hand, and in order to generate the most winnings with it, we need to be aggressive. We are 100 big blinds effective, and I am more than happy to go for a 4-bet here. There are 2 sizes we can use in this spot. This time around, I will apply the move again and gladly announce to the dealer I am all in pre-flop. It only takes a couple of seconds and my opponent will be folding. We managed to win 11.5 big blinds, or $57 without ever seeing a flop. Next hand, we will attempt to apply the move again post-flop in a 5-10 game with a $20 straddle on as I am dealt 6-4 suited in small blind. I open 3x to $60. Opponents in big blind and the straddle will be put in the call. There are 3 of us headed to a flop of 6-4-2, 2 diamonds. Extremely good flop as I have top 2 pair. I will only be behind to 5-3 suited for the nut straight and also sets. The most likely set will be pocket deuces, and it is almost impossible for them to have sixes or fours due to the combinations being left in the deck. Most people would see bet here, but being out of position to two players, I would take a more passive route and start out with a check. Big blind is going to check two, and the strata will find a bet in position for $100, about 50% of the pot. This is completely fine, and we would never just put a call in here, giving big blind very good odds to hit their hand on the turn. We would go for the check raise, making it $320 to go. Big blind is going to call after a couple of seconds. Even though the straddle put out a bet, they are going to fold their hand. We are heads up going to the turn, and it comes the six of hearts. This is the best turn possible as we now have the nuts. Let's think about hands my opponent will have in their range. They can still have 5-3 suited for a straight, a 6 for trips, a diamond flush draw, and maybe a straight flush draw like king 5 of diamonds, ace 5 of diamonds, etc. We want to allow our opponent to continue with all of these hands in position. With having the nuts, we do not have to bet very big here. We would go for a very small wager of only $270. My opponent goes into the tank for about 20 to 30 seconds and finally puts in the call. We go to the river and it comes the queen of diamonds. Now at this point, my opponent can still have the hands I mentioned on the turn, but their flush draws are complete. This is very important because now there are even more worse hands we can get called by when we bet. The question comes in again, what size should we use here on the river to maximize our winnings? One thought I want you to never have here is, I want to bet a size that I know for sure my opponent will always call. When you start out with this thought process, you will be leaving a lot of money on the table. Based on my breakdown, you think your opponent is going to fold trips, a straight, or the made flush? They also would never fold a full house with pocket deuces either. They decided to trap by letting me bet into them. Stop betting small sizes and use the obvious size that makes me win at poker. I announced to the dealer that I am all in for $1,530, a pot size bet. My opponent goes into the tank again for about a minute, but this is okay. In this moment, they are slowly but surely convincing themselves they cannot fold their hand. Finally, they put in a call and I turn over the best hand possible. My opponent mucks their cards and says they had 10-9 of diamonds. All in is the most obvious move you need to do more at the poker tables. I am sure you are learning a lot so far, and you can learn even more by scanning this QR code to receive my free guide, The Low Stakes Poker Blueprint. For 7 straight years, I have used these 100 rules in it to win at poker. You can also click the pinned comment to receive it. Different situation as we are dealt pocket kings on the button in a 2-5 game with a $10 straddle on. Cutoff will open 3x to $30. I will 3-bet on the button for $100. The straddle will be put in a code 4 bet for $325, and it folds back around to me. You may be worried about aces, but kings is the second best hand mathematically pre-flop, and we have to go with it. We cannot fold to 4 bets, so I will be going all in for $1,000. My opponent puts in the call. It will come king 3 queen with 2 hearts on the flop. The turn is the 10 of diamonds, and the river is the 7 of diamonds. I was the last aggressor, so I turn over my set of kings first. My opponent will fold their hand, and we would take down the $2,000 pot. For this next hand, I am dealt 10-8 suited on the button in a 5-10 game. The end of this hand may surprise you because it would be completely different than the previous hands covered. The straddle has not been on, but for this hand, it randomly is and causes me to be slightly short. I am on the button and I will open 2.5x to $50. Small blind will find a 3-bet here, making it $150. It folds back around to me and I will be putting in the call. We go heads up to a flop of 9-2-3, 2 hearts. It is an okay flop as we have some backdoor equity to flushes and straights. Villain is going to make a C-bet here for $100. The size is a little less than 1/3 of the pot, so I will be happy to continue. I put in a call. We go to the turn and it comes the 6 of diamonds. Extremely good turn as I have a straight draw to the best hand possible if I river a 7 and a 10 high flush draw to go along with it. This hand has been very different because we have been in defense mode in position instead of being the aggressor pre-flop. Villain will double barrel and place out a bet of $250. The odds I am getting are just too good with the sizing being 50% of the pot. I put in a call again. We go to the river and it comes the jack of clubs. Many people here think instantly, why can't I ever hit my hand in a big pot? I never get there. Or I am so unlucky. I, on the other hand, am thinking, well, I had the opportunity to realize all my equity in this 3-bet pot. It is all right, and if they bet, I get to fold and move on to another hand. I am also thinking if they check, what are my options? This is the thought process you should have in this spot as you are playing poker. Villain does slow down their aggression and checks the river. Now I am already prepared because I thought about what my options were in advance instead of being upset at the runout. In this spot, if we check, we can never win with 10 high. Unfortunately, we just do not have showdown value here. Every time before this hand, we went all in with a made hand to maximize our overall winnings. This is a different situation, but the same all-in rule will apply. Bluffing is another way to win the most money at the poker table. We must fire out a bet and it cannot be a small one. We must turn up the aggression, put our opponent in a tough spot, and make sure we bet a size that makes them fold. I will be going all in on the river for $1,030 to make my opponent extremely uncomfortable. They do tank for well over a minute, but finally find a fold. Live poker feels easy when you understand this one concept. Find out what it is by watching this next video.